So today I'm out riding around checking some swarm traps, and I was riding along the fence line and I came across this gum tree. And you see the little pods all over the top of it. I don't know whether, I hadn't done my research on it yet, but I'm going to. I don't know whether the bees get nectar or just pollen from this plant, but they're all over it and it goes for a ways. Here in my area we have a lot of these, so I'm guessing it's very beneficial. I've seen some wisteria blooming, and of course we have the yellow jasmine everywhere. Bob Walker, he put on there the other day that it was toxic to honeybees, which I'd been asking this question, and I finally got somebody to answer. I don't know why I didn't just Google it. I reckon I was just ignorant to the fact that nowadays all you got to do is hit a button and ask Siri or Google, and they can tell you what's going on with it. And of course we have the notorious pine for their pollen. You come out midday, or this one is about dried out because all of the little new growth on the end, the little yellow sprouts, they've turned orange looking. But when it's really pollinating, you see clouds and clouds of the pollen flying across. As you can see, we have a lot of Bradford pears that people had planted. And it turns out these are very evasive. If you can see way back over on that driveway over there, they have a line of them all the way up to the house in the back. This was a cleared field. The gentleman that had it, he passed away, and it's been neglected. Anyway, it's growing up in pine trees. But in 2018 and 2016, we had major flood in my area. Well, the flood carried the seeds off of those Bradford pears all over this field. And now there's Bradford pears all over this field. And the thing about the Bradford pears, they have long thorns on them. And if you were to get out there with just a regular tractor, those thorns have busted the tractor tires. And once you got to buy these tires at about $1,000 a piece, you kind of hate these trees. That's why that field was never cut up anymore. I think they said something about getting a bulldozer, maybe coming in and clearing it out. And from what I had read, they say that these trees, when they first were brought over, they were supposed to be sterile, so they didn't pollinate and didn't reproduce. But sometime after, I think it's about 2002 that I read, I may be mistaken on that, something went where they kind of mutated, I guess, and they started pollinating and becoming reproductive, and now they're considered a invasive species in South Carolina, and they want you to cut them down. These are the yellow jasmine, or the Carolina jasmine. As you can see, they got pretty blooms on them, and I've seen a lot of people, to collect them and put them in flower arrangements and stuff, but they're everywhere that the sun shines. I was speaking with a commercial beekeeper, and he was saying, they were toxic to bees. They would cause it to have like purple brood. Some of the brood would be kind of like zombified, and most of it would die, and it would slow the hives down from, or the colonies down from growing very rapidly. In the springtime, it's kind of early for it to be blooming this year, and we're hoping maybe it'll just bloom on out and be gone, so everything can build up in time enough for the main nectar flow. Now this is all blackberries. Let me stop. This is all blackberries. We had cut down where we had cut some pines about 5 years ago, and the blackberries, they just take root up under the bottom and sprout up, kind of like a native species. But here in the middle of this blackberry bush, those little teeny white flowers, we call those huckleberries. It's kind of like a wild blueberry. They don't get much bigger than the eraser of a regular pencil, but they're good to eat. And of course we have the briarberry blossoms that grow on the dirt. You see that the bees are working it. There he is on that flower right there. And these briarberries. They're good to eat too. They come off. Matter of fact, they usually last pretty much all through the summer for us. Now that red plant you see there, that's another type of briar, but I don't know what it is, but it'll tear you up. This is a better picture of that yellow jasmine. You can see the blooms kind of look like a trumpet, and they have kind of a strong smell to me. But when they come on the bush, they're yellow to start with. Now, a regular honeysuckle like we have around here, they be white when they come on the bush, and then they'll turn yellow, but they favor it a lot. But the leaves on this bush, see how pointed and green they are? They're different on the honeysuckle. And when that time of year comes, I'll get you a picture of it. This is a better looking bush as far as that honeysuckle, not honeysuckle, my little huckleberry bush that I was telling you about. A lot of times you see the bees on this, but they're not out this morning because it's kind of early. It's just getting where it's warming up, so I expect them to be out soon. Okay, before I leave this huckleberry bush, I wanted to show you something. This is the yellow jasmine. We've established that. See the leaves on the yellow jasmine, how they come down to a point. Okay, now this one right beside it, I'm talking on the same bush, on the same tree. This is a honeysuckle. See how wide the leaves are? Now it'll come off with white flowers, and then they'll turn yellow. And you can take them and pinch the end of the bud and pull that little stamen out, I think is what it's called. And there'll be just a little drop of liquid on it. And you can actually lick that liquid, and it's got a sweet taste to it. So I'm guessing that's the nectar that's in the honeysuckle. But don't do this without doing your own research, but we've done it all our lives. Now, this is the little pollinating pods that's on the pine tree. I don't know if it'll do it or not, but I'm gonna see if I can shake some pollen off of it. That one got a little bit. Here's another one. Let's try it. Maybe it caught it, but those things are devastating around here. Our sinuses have been killing us for 2 weeks. These are the red maples. They've done bloomed out and they've gone to seed. I saw one a little bit farther back that it's got a good picture of the seeds on it. The little tags there, they're seeds, and it even has a few more buds that hadn't popped out yet. But for most part, our red maples are doing on my drive anyway. My little Dachshund found him a toy. He's gonna play with a snake. Get him, Tree. Get him, Tree. Get him, Tree. He's gonna get you. Okay, so I caught that little snake. I didn't let my dog kill him. There's really no need to kill him because that snake actually helps keep nature in check as far as rats and other things. They eat other snakes also. We call these snakes chicken snakes because they like to eat the eggs, and a lot of times you find them in your chicken houses or your chicken coops in your nest. And we used to set traps for. We'd put one egg on the inside of the pen and one on the outside, and he'd swallow the first egg and he'd crawl through the hole, and he'd get the other egg, and they have to get up on something and fall off to bust the egg on the inside of them. So when you went back to your pen, you had the chicken coop or the snake caught, and you lost 2 eggs. So, you know, but in the long run, it was better because they'd eat 4 or 5 eggs a day. I got him in this bucket, and like I say, he didn't hurt the dog. So I'm gonna put him out here. He's about a mile from the house. He'll probably come back to the house. So I'll turn him loose and let him move on about his way. All right, little fella, come on, go on out there. Go ahead. So I'm gonna leave him be. All right, Chewy, come on. And the last thing I have for today is the wisteria vine. They're just coming out and starting to bloom. Don't see any bees on it yet, but the bees do. Well, there's a bee over there. But the bees do take to these. They have a good smell, or a very pleasant smell, but they too are kind of evasive because they'll grow everywhere and they'll choke a tree down and kill it. So if you get them growing in your pecan trees or pecan trees, however you want to say it, best thing to do is keep them cut low so they don't wrap around it and choke it down. If they're close to the house and they get around a tree, they could choke it to death and cause it to fall on you. And we have the Carolina jasmine in here too. It's kind of like they used to say about, Ray Stevens said about Santa Claus. He was everywhere. He's everywhere. Anyway, y'all have a good Sunday. We'll see y'all on the next one. We have some clover just blooming out. It's just starting. And I've seen a few dandelions, or yellow buttons, some people call them. So the bees have something to eat. They have to find it.